Hey there, Andrew, C1D Paintball, and this video is the first of the day on the series called Fine Line, being shot at Warzone Paintball, and this one is being played on the market map. Connor is on one team, the orange team. I am on the gold team, and just like a lot of different first games of the day, you kind of look around and you just want to feel out, you know, the strengths of your team, the strengths of the other team, just so you know what's going to happen the rest of the day. You can adjust your game. It's 9v9, by the way. Now, when I say adjust my game and check out the other teams, it's not as if we're like, you know, how do we destroy them or anything. It's you want to make sure, are the teams fair? Who do I have to watch out for in that? And just a general layout on how I'm going to play the game today. I mean, there could be a thing that I go out a day, you go out and it's like, you know what? These guys aren't really that great, so I'm going to tone it down a bit. So this is the way we approach it. And for this one, Connor's going to be spawning from the White House with his team, and I'm going to be spawning from the bunker. So right from the spawn, Connor runs to the 3-stack position. There's 2 columns of concrete pillars in this area. There's one that's 2 high, and there's one that's 3 high. So I refer to one as the 3-stack and the 2-stack. I think you can figure out which one is which here. Good place to go from the start because it's the easier way to get across the road in front of the White House when you're spawning there. But as I mentioned already, we want to see how the teams are, so it's a good place for him to observe. Connor's got a great angle on the screenshot here. He sees directly like across the map, and actually a lot of my teammates have run into this position, so he's going to be firing into there for a while actually, for most of the game here. And if he wants, Connor can go to his left where the East Road is. Now the East Road is a difficult place to go up and down. Usually people only traverse here as like a surprise to start the game, or once the numbers have dwindled down. So middle of the game, when there's still fairly full teams, you're not too likely to see a guy go up and down there. So but you never know. I mean, the element of surprise is so big in paintball. So if he needs to go to that side, he's right there. So now for me, don't forget me, I'm playing. I don't run up to my position because, well, I just don't run, especially compared to Connor, he's so fast. But I'm spawning from a better spot. The south spawn bunker is always a little better. So I kind of like, what's the word, kind of trot to the mid area here. I like to call Stonehenge, so I'm kind of like south of Stonehenge here. I'll actually spot one of Connor's teammates, so an enemy player ahead of me, and get a little lucky, and I'm going to take him out to start the game. Not a bad way to start, right? But it's only one player. There's a long way to go. Got one out. Got a big gun on the right. We got one guy left. Ghost, ghost. So we're going to focus on Connor's cameras here because he's got a POV camera too. So you're going to see both his viewpoints here. Now, his teammate on the 2-stack beside him, well, in the position, call them the Lonely Drums here on the south of the East Road here. There's an actual enemy there. So one of my teammates, but Connor's enemy, and Connor is just in the middle of telling him, you can't see it from the camera, but Connor does have the angle where he can see that enemy at the Lonely Barrels there. And just as Connor's teammate on the 2-stack is getting up to shoot in that, Connor's trying to warn him, there's a guy right in front of you. but it's going to be a little too late. However, Connor is going to zero in on that player, and, well, I can't tell you everything that's going to happen. Let's watch.
Hey, there's a yellow right in front of you! Look out, backwards hat! Hey, I got your hat! Yeah, go, you're good! Bonnie, you're good!
All right, so the Connor dual cam here will show you lots of splash. You see it on his marker, but he actually took one off the shoulder as well, just behind off camera, behind his marker, sorry. So he is out. He's out a little early, but for Connor at least, hey, it happens to the best of us. Took a guy with him, so he's even on the first game. And it is the first game. It's a warm-up after all. Now for me, because yeah, I'm still playing too, I'm gonna finally, I was still south of Stonehenge. I'm finally gonna move into the main area of Stonehenge here, where I'm gonna get just a little bit more to the front line, got a bit of cover now. I stayed behind there before because there is a slight angle. If there's teammates closer to Stonehenge and you get inside of it here, you can get picked off a little easier. You'll see as I get behind the cover in there, there's splash all over hitting the barrier in front of me, and I'll even catch a glimpse of Connor getting off the field. I'm gonna actually move from this left position in Stonehenge to the right, because I know that, because I saw them, because remember when you saw Connor's camera before, I was still in the game. On the left side, so on the west side of the White House spawn, that's a great place for the enemy to take up. And sure enough, there's a lot of good players that taken up that spot, including Jesse and Matisse. Now, the last day we came out to play with these guys, very good players. They team up most of the time. Matisse played great, but Jesse in particular took me out like 2 or 3 times. So he was like, great player, nice guy, but I gotta pay attention when he's on the field, and he is to my left in that section there, where I am about to put all my attention to.
Right here! 1, 2!
So I get lucky and I've taken Jesse out. You can't really see it on the camera just because he's at a distance, but Jesse and I both kind of had each other lined up. But as Jesse went up with his marker, I'm putting down my script here. As he kind of lined me up, you know, I saw his shoulder and his mask and everything. Something was wrong. I thought it was one of those situations where you're both lined up and you kind of just wait, you both fire and say, well, one of us is going to hit each other, which is not a right thing to do with Jesse because he doesn't miss a lot. However, it pays off because he has a marker problem, so I do hit and take him out. Now, I stand up behind my barrier. I know there's only 2 enemies left. I'm at the front. I've already got a couple of their players out. I'm warmed up here. I don't know if my teammates behind me know exactly what's going on, so I call out. There's 2 guys. I point out exactly where I am, where they are, sorry. Now, I stand up behind the barrier. Not only, I mean, I could have just put my hand above the barrier and said they're right here, but I stood up and did that. although it's good for my teammates to absolutely see and know where that my call out's coming from in case they're far behind, I'm doing it primarily because I don't care if I get taken out here. Because first of all, I see them both and they're in my line of sight. So if one of them or both of them pop up, I can have a little firefight with them. But honestly, the big reason here, I don't care, like I mentioned before, I've got a couple kills already in this game. I don't care if I get taken out, because if they're distracted trying to shoot me, and by calling them out, not only my teammates, if I let my teammates know that's where they are, I'm kind of drawing my attention. I'm drawing the attention of those two last players. So if they want to shoot at me, some of my players can take them out at the same time while they're distracted. Now, right here in this location, is right in front of me, really, the next barrier in front of me. That's where the one enemy is. He's gonna pop up here and he's an easy target for me. Meanwhile, that other guy, he's a good little position here, wedged between two barriers. And he's there. So as I walk off the field here, I'm going to talk to Jesse, and I'm going to kind of give him just a little buddy ribbing here. I finally got him, and I acknowledge why I got him, because he had marker problems. And I'm going to let it kind of run the video here in the background. You're going to see my teammates kind of go and circle the last player left, which will be, of course, the last play of the game, right?
Game over.
So that's the game, and it was a fun one. It was a good little warm-up game. It's, you know, like I said, you want to feel out, you want to get warmed up in a first game, see how the teams are. I did get this initial feeling, because there was lots of balls firing, and you kind of got it at the end there when you see my team kind of swoop in. I mean, there's only one of them left, but the feeling I got from this game, and you can never quite tell from the first game, but I was getting this feeling like, oh, we got a strong team, and there was aggressive players on both sides, and nobody crossed any lines. No one was being a jerk or anything, but it's like, oh, this isn't a game full of noobs. We're gonna be in tight here. I felt, even though I had a good first game, getting 3 kills, I sat there feeling that I could be the weak link here, and I did rush up in the front line. Before I got taken out, I guess I was the player who advanced the most on it. Very rare for me. But they saw that I did that, so if I try it again, I think it was going to be easier for them to pick me off. So I kind of felt like I better be a little bit more conservative if I'm going to survive here. But then again, you don't know what's going to happen in the second game. Connor, talking to him between games, I mean, we did a quick turnaround here, but he felt that pretty strong team I got on my side. He's got a really strong team too, especially with Jesse and Matisse and Connor himself. I know these guys right away, but he's got the feeling like, you know, this is going to be some high intensity paintball today. When do we find out? Well, whenever I make the next video of this series. Until then, hope you enjoyed it, and just remember, go out there, have fun, whether you're got a high intensity games with experienced players, or whether there's guys that it's their first time out, so you kind of tone it down. Just go out there, have fun, make the best of everything you got. I mean, it's a good thing of life. I'm talking about life. You can see I'm getting old, closer to death, you know. Take advantage of the good things. Be good to each other. You should be, because remember, at the end of the day, it's just a game.